Hi, it's Annmaree again. Welcome. Thanks for watching in ABC series for the Be Aware Holistic Health Model that I devised a few decades ago. So today's letter is on the letter W, which encompasses the body aspect, the mind aspect, and the emotional aspect associated with words starting with W. So the W word for the body is primarily water and walking. So we all know that walking is really good for us, and it's so important whether it's walking in one spot or in a nice spot that we enjoy, as well as the amount of water that we have in our life, whether it be plain water or fluids that we enjoy, and knowing that there's a limit, like with anything, where even people have died from having too much water, as in the Kokoda Trail. So just knowing your limits and knowing how you feel with your body awareness. And then following the body with W is the words that we use. So with mind awareness, mind being in my model the arena or the field that contains movement and stillness of thought, and that can be a frequency of many ranges, from what we actually see with our eyes or what we don't see with our eyes, but is within our, what some call our spiritual body, which I don't. Spirit to me is pure. There is no movement, no stillness. It just exists. So there's no visualization of it. Any visualization of it is from thought within the realm of mind, which encompasses the physicality. So coming back to the words are really important, what we say and what we hold on to. So if we say out loud, and I'm sort of going over the last video, which was on verbalization for the mind. So again, it's sort of repeating it. However, it's extremely important. If you go back to those that are familiar with the Bible, in the beginning of Genesis, the first was the word or sound, and that which vibrates outside us and that which vibrates within us. If we attach to it those words, then they will potentiate a influence within our lives. So whether you go to the extreme of talking about psychological aspects, or just coming back to the beginning aspect of what we choose to say in every moment will affect our health. So words, extremely important for mind awareness and mind health, as some may say mental health. Particularly when someone is already fragile or vulnerable, excuse me, from the way they are within their world. So the other W that I'm emphasizing is also our world, because our world, our environment that we bathe in will influence our life. So choosing what sort of world you want to exist in is ultimately your choice. Now, you might have placed yourself in an environment where it's a hard life, i.e., if you're in a third world country, or that they call it now underdeveloped country, that's hard. However, there are still always going to be things around you that are also the possibility of giving you joy. So it's focusing on those and utilizing those thoughts which subscribe in your head to words And then you either express them outwardly or you contain them within. And it's all going to affect your health. People talk about positive and negative. I'm more about the actual awareness of how you are in every moment. Because what can be positive right now, in 10 months' time may not be positive. It might not be a valuable thing for you. It might actually be detrimental. So it's about being in the moment. As some people talk about it, I just can't think of it right now. However, so words, your world, and exercise, like physicalities, like walking, they're all going to contribute to your general well-being in a holistic manner within the realm of body, mind, and emotional care. And when we look after our body, mind, and emotional care, the other W word, which was the first word that I thought of, was wisdom. So the better we are physically, mentally, and emotionally, the more wiser we are, the more wisdom we have, because we can listen more to the silent wisdom of our eternal existence, that which gives us knowing. And I've said this, to know is not to know until you do. So there's all these intellectualization aspects of life that people will throw at you. You know, I'll do this, this is great, it's great, etc. If you don't, if it's a valuable thing and you're not doing it, then you don't know. You don't know because you're not doing it. You know, to know is not to know until you do. That's for the productivity aspect of life. When it's something that your gut feeling or your silence within, which vibrates and frequency, I'm going to make up a word, frequentizes. I just made up a word. When it vibrates and releases its energy through your existence, through this temple that we have called body, mind, and emotion, when it does that, you can actually know something is not quite valuable for you. You may not be able to put words to it. You may not be able to explain it. However, you just have that feeling. And that's the wisdom of your eternal being, that which existed before you were born and will continue to exist when your physicality, your mind, and your emotions pass over. That which exists is expressing its language, or the language, through your physicality, so that you can understand it's not quite appropriate, whatever it is. And it's important to listen to that. And the easier it is to listen to it the ease will be when you are looking after your physicality, your emotional being, and your mind being. So this is the wisdom. This is the knowing. You just know. To know is not to know until you do. You're doing it by being physically as strong as you can. Even when you're fragile and there's something not quite right about your physical body, there is a point in your physical existence, where you are doing your best. The same with the thoughts. When you're mentally as clear as you possibly can, when you're emotionally as stable as you possibly can, you are more attuned with your eternal being, that which exists through every life force and continues as we endlessly. It's limitless. So when we have the wisdom and we gravitate to the physicality in the W aspect of utilizing movement with the body, the simplest way is walking. You know, not everyone can walk, and I understand that. I've been in a wheelchair myself, where I had to learn to walk when I fell off the cliff trying to see if someone was okay, and I fell 23 meters. I was so lucky that I actually was able to be able to walk, learn to walk later on after I'd been in skeletal traction for months. So if you can't walk, there's always the aspect of doing something where there's movement. because every form of life has movement. And so that's where the wisdom comes in. With the words, knowing when you hear words in your head, the ability, if you are looking after your general mind awareness, knowing when to release those words or when to promote those words. That's the wisdom. You know, you might think of, or you might have aspects of thought come into your existence that are what some may say are crazy, i.e. Attempting physical harm on someone. We're humans. Well, those of us that are humans, it's part of our humanness to be kind, compassionate, caring. So understanding that words that are not, that's not productive for our human existence. And that's where I'm coming from in this model. Our human existence is body, mind, emotions. So understanding that those words aren't necessarily valuable. So you release them, you let go. In the Buddhist, it's have indifference and discriminate, release the thoughts. And with the emotions that which the word explains itself, energy in motion, movement. So it's how we feel is very valuable to be aware of so that we can release and let go and let flow that which is healthy. So we release and let go that which is unhealthy or inhibits our optimum being. And when we're healthy, our emotions, we allow them to flow and continue, coming from the essence and purity of joy particularly. So with emotions, the W water really is not just wisdom and world, it would also be related to the water as well. Because when you are unstable, or in this day and age, if you're watching in 2021 or around this era, it's quite crazy what's going on in the world in one aspect. And that perception of that aspect can make your thoughts and your mental health and your mind awareness quite unclear, and emotionally with your emotional body make you feel quite unstable. So by going to an area where there is water, whether it is literally splashing water on your face, if you haven't got the opportunity to wash, to have a bath, or go to the sea, or go to have a swim, then just, washing the face, splashing water on you, which is something that people have done over time when people have when they're not feeling quite right. So water for the emotions is very, very valuable. As the Dr. Amito, Masaru Amito, if I'm pronouncing it right, the Japanese man who died in 2014, sadly. I think he was born 1943 to 2014. And he did all those famous experiments with water and emotion and how it contained a particular emotion. Water droplets that were happy and joyful looked symmetrical and sharp and in appearance. So, and traditional medicines have known water is, it's flowing. It's not like earth, which is stable and stuck. Water and emotions need to move. So emotional care is all about being aware of how you feel and allowing it to either flow and continue or flow and let go if it's unhealthy. So I hope that's been helpful with the W aspect of brief aspect of ABC, Be Aware Holistic Healthcare. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. And if you like, please like it and share, and see you next time. Namaste and love always. Thank you.